Biden just did it! Breaking gay news for the first time in history.
I want to send a message to transgender children.
After more than 30 states proposed 500 anti-LGBTQ bills,
we're not doing the pronoun Olympics in Florida. It's not happening here.
I want to welcome you.
You are loved.
To the Whitehouse's.
You are heard. Yeah! And you belong.
Biggest pride in history.
Happy Pride.
Okay, so it's June. And you know what that means? June means that it's time to maximize the virtual sibling. All of these companies across the country are changing their social media handle to something with a rainbow in it. They're putting out statements. They're issuing products with rainbows because this group of people have stolen the meaning of the rainbow. So Joe Biden couldn't be outdone. Joe Biden wants to show you just how gay he can be by disgracing the White House grounds and disgracing the United States flag. Let's take a look at this article here. President Joe Biden welcomed hundreds to the White House on Saturday for a delayed Pride Month celebration aimed at showing LGBTQ plus divided by sign LMNOP people that his administration has their back at a time when advocates are warning of a spike in discriminatory legislation, particularly aimed at the transgender community sweeping through state houses. You see how NBC, this is an NBC article. You see how NBC frames this? Oh, look, it's discriminatory legislation. These state houses are doing terrible things. They're bigots. These state houses are banning certain books that are sexually explicit and are promoting LGBTQ ideology, and they're banning drag shows with children attending. Let's take a look at some examples of what these state houses are banning that's so discriminatory. Okay, this here is a book that was taken from an elementary school. And let's take a look at what's in it. First of all, it's saying for ages 10 up, it needs to be 18 up. But let's take a look inside this book. What the hell is going on? You go to your kids' elementary school, you might run into something like this. We have cartoon images of characters masturbating. And if you read the text there, it talks about how masturbation feels good and why you do it, how you should do it. And look at this. Look at these images. This is disgusting. The left says, if you complain about this, if you don't want this in the schools with your children, then you're a bigot. You're discriminating by taking sexually explicit content out of elementary schools. If you take a look at the text, it talks about homosexuality at the bottom, homosexual sex in your children's schools. And on this page here, they're pushing their ideology. They're trying to normalize this in the minds of children. And this book here is called Let's Talk About It. The Teen's Guide to Sex, Relationships, and Being Human. And look, if you see this picture here, this is indication. They're trying to make it look innocent with these other people, but this is an indication of what you're going to get inside this book. So this is found in middle schools, elementary schools. Look at this. You look at the text, it's talking about anal sex. The anus, yeah, it's for digestion, but it can also be used for pleasure. That's what this is saying. And this is what they're pushing the children. And if you have a problem with it, they say you're discriminating. You're a bigot for having an issue with this. And Joe Biden just invited some of these same individuals, these same lunatics who think that you're the problem for trying to protect children. He just invited a lot of them to the White House for a massive gay block party. And things didn't go well. Joe Biden found out up close and personal just how nuts some of these people can get. So let's read here. A transgender influencer was banned from the White House on Tuesday for posing topless at President Biden's Pride celebration over the weekend. Rose Montoya, who exposed his bare prosthetic breast. Wait, Rose. It's kind of hard to get through this without laughing. Rose Montoya, who exposed his bare prosthetic breast to the camera and onlookers at the official event, violated basic standards of decency and social manners, a spokesperson for the White House told the New York Post. Social manners, decency. Joe Biden and his team actually got the nerve to say that. They're pushing trans and kids. They're pushing having your children in strip clubs, which are disguised as drag shows. They're pushing all this crap. They're pushing for these sexual books to be inside elementary schools and middle schools. And they got the nerve to talk about decency and social manners. Let's continue. This behavior is inappropriate and disrespectful for any event at the White House, the spokesperson said. It is not reflective of the event we hosted to celebrate LGBTQ plus LMNOP XYZ families or the other hundreds of guests who were in attendance. Individuals in the video would not be invited to future events. I don't think they care. They got what they wanted. They got their clout because the person who did this, it's not like there was a spy hiding in the bushes filming this and said, I got you, I'm exposure. No, this person voluntarily posted this on their own social media, on their own Instagram, TikTok, whatever it was. They love this. They got their clout. And I'm pretty sure the White House, Joe Biden's handlers, because remember, Joe Biden's not running anything. Joe Biden's handlers, they're all for this, but they're just embarrassed that it got out. They're embarrassed at the backlash. So now they're trying to act like, oh man, we need to have some decency. Yeah, right. A transgender identifying male and Idaho-based model who became famous for TikTok content, Montoya was captured on video on Saturday flashing attendees in front of the White House off the balcony in which the pride flag and the American flag were draped. Yeah, so I'm not going to just run past that sentence. The pride flag and the American flag were draped. Let me show you this here. This is Joe Biden's America. A disgrace to the United States, a disgrace to the Union and the American flag. Look at what this man did. Look at what he allowed to happen because he's trying to endorse this American religious ideology that they're pushing on people, the LGBT ideology. He disgraced the Union with this action. What a disgusting sight to see. A transgender identifying female, also topless, but whose breasts were surgically removed, stood next to Montoya in the frame. All right, let's take a look at this quickly infamous video. Charlie Kirk posted it on his Twitter. So let's take a look at exactly what went down.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah!
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. Some of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known. And
you're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video.
Gay news.
Are we topless at the White House?
Wow. Yeah. What can I say about that? They enjoyed it. They enjoyed disgracing the symbols of the American way, the American spirit, and Joe Biden was all for it. Are we topless at the White House? The person filming the group said in the video found on Montoya's Instagram. Before putting on the half-naked display, Montoya shook hands and talked with Biden. LGBT individuals are amongst the bravest and most inspired people I've ever known. I didn't hear him say they're among the bravest and most inspiring people. I heard him say they are the bravest and most inspiring people. Go back and look at the video again. But what about all these other people? We could talk about people going through traumatic experiences, veterans, teachers, firefighters, police. I can continue with that. But what about all these people putting up heroic displays and bravery every single day? But Joe Biden is saying these LGBT people, these people who say, look, I'm a man that like to get blanked in the blink. Because he said that, Joe Biden is saying this is the bravest type. A man wants to get blanked in the blink, and all of a sudden you are a higher status than veterans who fought for the country, than firefighters, like some of the firefighters who died trying to protect other people, for police who will lay down their life to save individuals they don't even know. Nope. Joe Biden is showing you how he really feels. He's showing you, and this is what people voted for. Biden said in his address, Montoya grabbed a selfie with the president as well. I had the honor of attending White House Pride, the largest one in history where the pride flag flew for the first time. Montoya, who started transition in 2015, wrote in the caption on the Instagram video. This is trans joy. We're here at the White House unapologetically trans, queer, and brown. I like how they lump the brown in, because every time somebody pushes back against these trans things, they always say, hey, well, what about black people? You talk about trans people, black, blackity, black. Yeah, okay. They always try to lump black people in with this gay crap and this trans crap, and it's incredibly insulting. In response to the backlash, Montoya clarified in a follow-up video, going topless in DC is legal. These people don't understand decency. They don't get it. Everything is not illegal, but there are just some things that you shouldn't do. They'll never take responsibility. The fact that these people are so coddled, they're so protected, it gives them the mindset to be victims. They'll never have to take responsibility for their actions. Just like that one in Tennessee that went and killed those people, and the media and the White House came out and defended this person, a murderer, because they don't need to take responsibility for their actions. They're always going to be protected by the people in power. That's at least until we put the right people in power to do something about it. I fully support the movement to free the nipples, Montoya said. Why is my chest now deemed inappropriate or illegal when I show it off? However, before coming out as trans, it was not. All you're doing is affirming I'm a woman. For some reason, people like to sexualize women's bodies and say that they are inappropriate. You see this? This is gaslighting to the highest degree. Of course, breasts and nipples are sexual objects. Yes, they're used to nurse babies, but they're also sexual objects. And you can't sit here. I'm not even going to make the argument about this. I'm just continuing. The president invited thousands of guests to the festivities, including singer Who, an LGBT activist who identifies as queer, and gave a special performance on Saturday. I see more courage on this lawn than any time I've seen in the recent past, Biden said on the stage. Didn't we just have Memorial Day? Because I saw a video of Biden. The presidents normally have this scripted event where they go to Arlington National Cemetery and do this really quick, short event to honor those who have fallen in battle for the United States, dead soldiers. I saw him do that, but I didn't see him host any block parties for veterans. I didn't see him bring in thousands of people, Gold Star families who support soldiers, who support veterans. But he's talking about, I haven't seen any courage like this. Are you serious? Like I said, this man is showing you how he feels. After the event, some pundits online accused Biden of violating U.S. flag code over the Pride showcase. U.S. flag code 7E requires that the flag of the United States of America should be at the center and at the highest point of the group when a number of flags of states or localities or pennants of societies are grouped and displayed from steps. The American flag was to the right of the Pride flag during the celebration, according to videos. Yeah, maybe he did violate it. I'm not really sure about the legalities of that, but if he did violate it, he needs to be held accountable for that, because they were just a disgusting display. Since Pride Month began, the White House has escalated its LGBT advocacy campaigns. Biden has cited the waiver legislation in Republican states prohibiting or restricting gender transition hormone therapy and reconstructive surgery for minors as a major reason for action. So if you are advocating against trans in children, if you do not want to give a mastectomy to a teenager, a middle school girl, if you don't want to chop the penis off a little boy or give a 16-year-old girl an unnecessary hysterectomy, you're the problem. Biden is saying, look, we need to push against you bigots. You don't want to trans the children. You don't want to chemically castrate them by giving them all these hormones. So you're the problem. So Biden is going to continue to spend taxpayer money to trans children, to push woke ideology, to push this state religion of LGBT ideology. He's using our money to try to trans our children. So it's June. It's the biggest month of the year for these leftists to push their woke ideology, mainly transing children and trying to indoctrinate the nation into supporting something that most people disagree with. Why do we have a Pride Month? Great question, because it's really unnecessary. All this just for a man to blink another man in the blink. So let me know what you think. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.